April is National Donate Life Month, and on this final day, Dr. Victor Van Berkel with U of L Health's cardiovascular and thoracic surgery is here to discuss lung transplants, giving hope to so many people that are out there. So, Doctor, thanks for being here, first of all.
Thank you very much.
And we wanted to ask you about lung transplants, when they're necessary for a patient, and how does it really improve their life?
Sure. So there are a few common diseases that typically end up with people getting lung transplants. The most common are emphysema or COPD, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and then cystic fibrosis, usually in younger people. These are chronic lung conditions that really don't have any way of getting treated medically, and so when they get sick enough that they're on oxygen all the time, then really the only way to get them better is with a transplant.
And what kind of conditions what causes those conditions? Smoking, one of them?
So emphysema and COPD, smoking is a big one. Pulmonary fibrosis just kind of comes out of the blue. So you can be a pretty healthy person and then all of a sudden have a pretty terrible disease.
Wow, okay. And so U of L Health, you've completed 400 lung transplants. That's pretty amazing, and the first in Kentucky to have a heart and lung transplant and the first lung transplant. Very impressive. So one thing you tell the patients, though, about this as you're preparing them, that this is a lifetime commitment. So what does that mean?
It is. Well, a lot of times what we tell folks is that with transplant, you're trading one set of problems for a different set of problems. You're getting rid of, hopefully, the oxygen, you're improving your quality of life, getting really your life back. But the trade-off there is that you have to take a bunch of medications for the rest of your life to make sure that you don't reject that organ. So there's a lot of immunosuppression and a lot of monitoring and medications that need to be taken to kind of help make sure that those transplanted organs live as long as we would like them to.
I guess a patient also has to do a lot of check-ins at the hospital?
It is a pretty complicated process and a complicated issue. Most of the hard work is in the short time after the transplant. That first year, as you can imagine, is where there's a lot of close follow-up. But as we kind of figure out what the right medication balance is for each patient, those things happen less and less frequently until you get to the point where you're just kind of checking in, hopefully once a year.
Yeah, makes sense. And I want to get this right. You have what's known as a multidisciplinary team at U of L Health. Sure. Tell us what that's about and how that affects the outcomes for the transplant patient.
Sure. So, like I said, transplant is a big, complicated thing. And so we have a team of individuals with a bunch of disparate talents that kind of help take care of them. So there's people like me who are the surgeons that actually do the operation, the pulmonologists who help manage a lot of the medications afterwards. There's a pharmacy team, there's the coordinators that help do kind of the nuts and bolts of taking care of everybody. There's a social work team, there's psychiatry, infectious diseases, a whole bunch of folks whose entire focus is making sure that people get optimal care.
Wow, it's impressive.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for what you do, and thanks for being here today, Doctor.
No problem, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.